Nigeria is extremely bigger, challenged. We are facing terrorism, banditry, insurgency, but you never fail to make a right response to these calls. What are we asked for tonight is for you to start thinking how best to amend the Constitution to incorporate the state police.
If you've ever heard the name Jagaban thrown around in Nigerian politics and wondered what it really means and why it carries so much weight, then you are not alone. It's one of those titles that sounds almost mythical, yet it plays a very real role in how power is built and maintained in Nigeria today. And when people refer to Bola Ahmed Tinubu as Jagaban, they are not just using a nickname. They are pointing to a deeper political identity that many Nigerians are still trying to fully understand. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The name Jagaban didn't start in Lagos or even in mainstream Nigerian politics. It's actually a traditional title from the Bogu Kingdom, an area that spans part of present-day Niger State and neighboring regions. Historically, the title Jagaban roughly translates to leader of warriors or one who leads the charge. It symbolizes strength, strategy, and the ability to command loyalty. So when Tinubu was conferred with this title years ago, it wasn't just ceremonial, it became a powerful part of his political brand. Before we go deeper, if you find this kind of breakdown helpful and you want more clear, honest explanations of Nigerian politics, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's also trying to understand how power really works in this country. And I'd really like to hear your thoughts too, so drop a comment as we go along. Now, let's connect the dots. Why does this title matter so much today? Why do supporters and critics alike keep referring to Tinubu as Jagaban? The answer lies in his political journey and the structure he helped build over the years. Back in the late 1990s and early 2000s, when Nigeria returned to democratic rule, Tinubu emerged as a key political figure, especially in Lagos State. As governor from 1999 to 2007, he didn't just govern, he built networks, strong ones. He mentored politicians, supported candidates, and gradually created a system where many political careers were linked directly or indirectly to him. Over time, this influence expanded beyond Lagos. What started as regional control slowly turned to national relevance. Many analysts often point out that Tinubu's strength isn't just in holding office, but in shaping who gets into office. And that's where the idea of Jagaban starts to make more sense. It reflects not just leadership, but strategic influence, the kind that operates behind the scenes as much as it does in public. Now, some people see this as political genius, others see it as a concentration of power, but either way, it's hard to ignore. Reports and political observers have often highlighted how Tinubu played a major role in coalition building, especially during the formation of major political alliances that reshaped Nigeria's political landscape. Take a moment and think about this. How many politicians today can point to a structure they built that still holds strong years later? That's part of what sets this apart. The title Jagaban becomes more than just a name. It becomes a symbol of endurance in a system where alliances often shift quickly. And then came the presidency. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu became Nigeria's president, the conversation around Jagaban intensified. For some Nigerians, it confirmed what they had believed all along, that his long-term strategy had finally reached its peak. For others, it raised new questions about how power is structured and exercised at the highest level. But let's slow down for a second and look at why this matters to everyday Nigerians. Because beyond the titles and political strategy, what people really care about is impact. Does this kind of influence translate into better governance? Does it lead to policies that improve daily life? Or does it simply reinforce existing power structures? These are valid questions, and the answers are not always straightforward. In some cases, strong political networks can lead to stability and continuity. In other cases, they can limit diversity in leadership and decision-making. It really depends on how that power is used. Another important point to understand is perception. In politics, perception can be as powerful as reality. The name Jagaban carries a certain image: strength, control, authority. Supporters often use it with pride, seeing it as a mark of respect and achievement. Critics, on the other hand, may use it to question the extent of influence one individual should have. And this is where things get even more interesting. In Nigeria's political culture, titles and symbols matter a lot. They shape how leaders are viewed and how they connect with people. So when a title like Jagaban becomes widely recognized, it starts to influence public perception in a big way. Let's also talk about how this affects younger Nigerians who are trying to understand politics. For many, terms like this can feel confusing or even intimidating. But when you break it down, it's really about understanding how influence is built through relationships, consistency, and long-term strategy. According to various political commentators, one of Tinubu's key strengths has been his ability to identify and support talent early. Many individuals who started under his mentorship have gone on to hold significant positions. This creates a ripple effect where influence spreads across different levels of government. But again, it's important to keep things balanced. While some view this as effective leadership, others argue that it can lead to a system where opportunities are not evenly distributed. And that's part of the ongoing conversation in Nigeria today. Now, think about the bigger picture. Nigeria is a country with a complex political environment shaped by history, culture, and regional dynamics. In such a system, figures like Tinubu and titles like Jagaban become focal points for larger discussions about power, leadership, and accountability. So when you hear people say Jagaban, they are not just talking about a name. They are referencing a whole system of influence, a style of politics, and a legacy that continues to evolve.